Hi everyone, this is the one from the Board Game Museum, and today I'm going to be reviewing and showing you how to play the game Runemasters. Now in Runemasters, you are going to be taking on the role of a guardian, and what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to be trying to guard the temple from these monsters that are going to be coming from one of 4 different paths, and the object of the game is you're going to be trying to get to dawn before the monsters end up taking over. So let's check. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we'll just go over the components first, and then we'll go over the rules. The object of the game is you're going to be trying to stop all these monsters from reaching the temple over here, and you're going to have 4 guardians that you'll be able to choose from in order to help do that. Now these guardians comes with stands. I'm just going to have them laying down flat so you can see them. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of different monsters that you're going to be dealing with in this game. Dragons and warriors and wizards and archers and all sorts of ones. Now, if you're able to fight off enough of them and get to the Dawn card over here that's going to be near the bottom, it can be first on the bottom, second from the bottom, or third from the bottom, then you're going to win the game. So here are the different boards for all of the different warriors over here, and there's going to be a few things you're going to have. You're going to have health points over here. You're going to start with 5. You'll also have what are called mana points, which will be represented here by the blue. You're going to have dice you're going to be rolling in the game, and the mana is going to help you to re-roll dice. So if you spent 2 mana, you would be able to re-roll 2 of these dice over here. Also, you're going to have a special ability, and each of these warriors are going to have a special ability, and then you're also going to have an ultimate power over here that you're going to be able to build up, and then whenever it gets to 4, you'll be able to go ahead and activate it. Kyrius, for example, he's going to have trample, which means he can strike any weak point of each monster on your path, which I'll talk about here in just a minute. Now in the game, you're going to have event cards and monster cards. Event cards can be either positive or negative, and you're going to have 5 that you're going to have in your deck. And what you can do is you can go ahead and adjust the difficulty. So if you wanted to have a fairly easy game, you could put 3 positive cards in there, 1 negative card in there. Or if you wanted it harder, you could adjust it opposite way. Now there's going to be a card in here that's going to be neutral, which won't do anything. But generally the cards are going to have an positive or negative effect, and you're going to do this once per round. Now right over here, you're going to have 4 dice that you're going to roll. There is an event that will allow you to roll an extra die. Right over here, these 4 symbols are going to represent the different weak spots of the monsters and also where you'll be able to move on the board. So for example, if I rolled a green and I was playing as this warrior, I could go ahead and move over here to this green space and swap places with that warrior. Or if I am in a path that has a monster, I wanted to use the greenish orange one over here and I was in this path, I could use that to go ahead and hit these monsters' weak spots. This particular monster has a yellow-orange weak spot and then a purple weak spot. So if I were to spend this symbol over here, I could go ahead and put a token on here like so. And if I'm able to also use the purple die to hit this, then I will go ahead and take the monster out. Any monsters that are left over in the round are going to go ahead and move up 1. And if they end up getting over here to the first space, they're going to go ahead and do an attack on this area. Now, if there happens to be a warrior in this area, if this monster's here, that warrior is going to lose a health point. If there isn't a warrior over there, then that monster is going to go ahead and hit the temple, and then the temple health points are going to go and get taken down. Most of these monsters are going to have an ability of some kind. The archer over here has an ability where he's going to be shooting arrows if there are no monsters in front of him, and because he has that, if he ends up surviving, he will be able to go ahead and shoot an arrow and injure a warrior or injure the temple. And here is a list of all the monsters and all the abilities that each of these monsters have. The other 2 spaces you have, this will allow you to use your ability. This will allow the warrior to use their ability. And then this one is a wild, so this will count as any space that you'll be able to move on the board along with the purple hit point. So let's just kind of show you how this works. I'm going to go ahead and draw an event card, and this is going to tell us what's going to happen. This says, ignore the ranged attacks of archers, however, their direct combat is unaffected. So any archers will not be able to shoot any arrows, which is a good thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and reveal a monster. Now on the monster card, you're going to go ahead and see their weak spots, which you're going to be able to hit by rolling the dice. And this is what your reward is going to be if you successfully kill the monster. In this case, you will receive 2 mana. So this symbol here will tell you what color the monster is going to go on. So he's normally going to start in space 3. Now some can start in space 2. Right now he's in space 3. So I'm going to go ahead and place this over here. Now I have these monsters pre-placed over here just for the game review purposes. So now we have these monsters. I'm going to go ahead and start with Kyrie's over here. He's got this sage token that's going to represent that he's first. And I'm going to go ahead and roll these 4 dice over here and see what I can get. So what I'm going to do is I have the purple. I'm going to go ahead and move over here and swap places over here with that warrior. So I'll have used this die. Then I'm going to use this die over here to hit the archer over here. So I'll put a space there. Now I also have a special ability, which is the whirlwind, which says strike any weak point of the first monster on your path. So I'll go ahead and do that and hit him over here like so. And this is going to take out that monster. So now that the monster is going to be out, I will go ahead and gain a mana, but I did not spend a mana, so I'm not going to need it, but I'll put the card over here anyway. A couple of other things you'll be able to do with the dice. If you end up getting 2 dice of the same symbol, you'll be able to go ahead and place what is called a blocking token on the space you are on. What this is going to do is this is going to keep the monsters from moving up at the end of your turn. Another thing you can do is you can spend a die to go ahead and move up 1 on your ultimate power track to use on your ultimate ability. So now you'll flip this back once you get over here to 4, and then you'll do it one more time. And once you spend it the second time, this is going to be out of the game. Last thing I can do, I can go ahead and do what's called release all my mana. And so everybody's going to go ahead and take their turn like so. And once it gets to the end of the round, all the monsters are going to go ahead and move up a space, and then you'll just simply repeat the process. Now again, once you get over here to the Dawn card, all the monsters are going to die off and everybody will go ahead and win the game. The game, however, will be lost if all of the guardians have been taken out or all the health points have been removed from the temple. Now, there's a game called Castle Panic that some of you may be familiar with. And this is one of those games where you're in the middle and then you've got all these monsters out on the outside of the board trying to get in, and they're throwing all these weapons at you. Well, this game is a smaller version of that. These monsters start off in pretty close territory when you're starting. They'll start like on the 3rd level, but then you might have some that are going to start on the 2nd level. Some of these monsters are going to have weapons, like there's some that will have arrows that they're going to shoot if there aren't any monsters in front of them, which is going to do some damage. Some of the stronger cards, they're going to be immune from certain things. They're going to end up giving you damage if they get damaged. So there's a lot of these different cards are going to have a lot of these different abilities, and some of them are going to be shielded from your abilities. And so a lot of what you're going to be doing is you're going to be working together to try to get these monsters out, because a lot of what's going to happen is it's going to be dependent on the roll of the die. You might need to only hit the monster once and then roll, but you don't get anything. So then what you might have to do is you might have to try to sacrifice a die to try to get somebody to move over to your area in order to try to take on the monster, because he's going to be moving up the next turn. Then you also have those event cards, which I like the fact that you can adjust the difficulty with those. You can make it as easy or as hard as you want depending on the type of cards that you have. The times I have played this game, it has been a nail biter, especially when they end up getting up to the 1st level and they're starting to knock out the temple unless someone's there and they have to block it and take the hit. You don't have a lot of hits that you can take in this game. So you have to rely on healing, you have to rely on things like shields, and you have to rely on a lot of player help and trying to plan moves, especially if you're low on health. But it's a very enjoyable game. It's easy to play. I would definitely recommend it for anybody who likes games like Castle Panic or games where you're trying to defend a certain area against all these different types of monsters or evil forces. It's a good game. It's an easy game. I enjoyed it. All right, guys, that is my review of Runemasters. We'll see you. Keep on gaming. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and like.
And comment. And
click and
share.
share.
And have fun. Have a lot of fun. That's what you gotta do.